about his subject. He's extremely knowledgeable, obviously, so he knows what he's talking about, but not in a patronising way.
Yet it was world-renowned naturalist and broadcaster Peter Scott, now recognised as the father of wildlife conservation, who served as David Attenborough's inspiration.
Peter had everything. I mean, son of a famous Antarctic explorer, Olympic medal winner at sailing, painted marvellous pictures, and kept geese and ducks from all over the world, and seemed to know everything, and indeed everybody.
Peter was he was a lovely man. He was single-minded, and there's no question about that. Once he got his mind on the job, he got, bit between the teeth, and he was away.
Hello, my darlings.
Well, I think he had rather unique kind of childhood because, of course, as the son of a rather famous man, Captain Scott, he had an unusual upbringing.
Peter was just 9 months old when his father left on an ill-fated expedition to Antarctica. He never returned. Peter had no memories of his father, but among the letters left by Captain Scott was one that was to influence the entire direction of his son's life.
My father really wanted me to be interested in natural history, and he wrote a message to my mother in the tent where he died in the Antarctic, which got found the next spring when they were there. And it was a letter in which he said, make the boy interested in natural history. It is better than games. They teach it at some schools.
And the amazing thing, of course, was that she managed to make him interested in natural history.
And Peter was able to take his growing fascination with wildlife and combine it with another gift inherited from his sculptress mother. He became a talented artist.
You see, I've drawn ever since I could draw. I mean, ever since I can remember. I mean, I can remember a time lying on a nursery floor on some rather nasty oilcloth, drawing and drawing and drawing and drawing.
I think there are those people in life who are just great observationists. And there are always those people in life who can draw, who can paint. Not only could he just capture the environment, I think what he was really good at was, believe it or not, was capturing great skies. I mean, you look at a paint, you think, that's Maytime.
In 1927, Peter went to Trinity College, Cambridge, to study natural sciences. And although he filled his room with birds and animals, he still had time for another hobby, shooting geese.
It was a time when I really took a great delight in successfully killing. And this, I hate to think it was so, but it was so.
We were all, I think all of us, under those circumstances, brought up in this atmosphere. He did shoot on an industrial scale. He was one of the top punt gunners in the land in those days.
With the outbreak of the Second World War, the shooting started for real. Peter joined the Navy, rising to the rank of Lieutenant Commander, and was awarded a Distinguished Service Cross for his bravery in action. He put his artistic talent and knowledge of the natural world to good use too, by devising a system of camouflage for the Navy.
This is London calling. The German radio has just announced that Hitler is dead.
Peter had dabbled in broadcasting before the war, but it was during the Victory Parade that he honed his skills as a commentator.
In a few moments now, we shall be saluting our King, and as we come to the saluting base, you will hear the order, eyes left. It'll be given this time by a Marine lieutenant. And this is the most moving moment. All this pageantry certainly is terrifically moving.
After any war, people tend to appreciate the countryside that little bit more, and they go out and enjoy it.
Listeners wanted to hear about wildlife on the radio too, so Peter was invited to be a regular contributor on Nature Parliament.
Over to Peter Scott with a question from John Hayworth of Warwick, a 10-year-old. John has some white mice, Peter, and someone has told him that if they get webbed feet, he'll have to have them destroyed. Now, is it so, or is his leg being pulled?
Well, John, your leg is being pulled, and I'm afraid I think it's rather a foolish kind of leg pull.
Here, here.
It was very, very interesting, to hear him on the radio, talking in that rather measured way.
Well, now, the flying lemur and the flying squirrel don't really fly at all, they glide.
He suddenly took us away from a dreary world of the war that had gone past.
The war had left its mark on Peter. A visit to some wetlands in Gloucestershire changed his life.
When he came to Slimbridge, and wildfowling was still going on here, and he saw a female goose, wounded female goose, lying out on the sands, and the male standing by it for hours on end, and I think he thought that wasn't very nice, and he decided that he wasn't going to do any more shooting.
Instead, he set up a charity that would work to protect and breed ducks, geese and other water birds. It was called the Severn Wildfowl Trust. It was to become one of the first nationwide conservation organisations. The trust needed money, and the fledgling BBC Natural History Unit offered Peter an opportunity, although his TV debut wasn't exactly spectacular.
I was a studio manager in Bristol. Peter invited us to go to the Colston Hall in Bristol, where he was going to give a lecture. My boss and I, we went there, we sat in the hall. Peter stood up on the platform and he spoke to people about his ducks. We said, here is a man who should be on the telly. And in those days it was fairly easy to get on, you know. Peter did exactly that on television, in a studio. He talked straight to the audience. He drew a few ducks, showed his little bit of film. Big success, couldn't go wrong.
And there we are, the little pair of masked ducks, Nominix dominica.
Peter took to the screen, well, like a duck to water, and the viewers loved his programmes. But another young man was also emerging from his studies in natural sciences at Cambridge.